Huang Liman is from Harbin, Heilong Jiang Province. She graduated from Harbin Military Engineering Academy. Despite her average looks, Huang has always been known for her sex appeal. In middle school, students were allowed to dance with the opposite sex, and many boys would fight over her. A school teacher at Harbin Engineering Academy had an affair with Huang. His wife learned about it and caused a scene, and the teacher eventually was punished for it. In the early 80s, Jiang was the Minister of Electronics Industry, when Huang happened to work in the ministry's office. According to her colleagues at the office, Huang dressed to kill, and wore a lot of makeup when she came to work every day. The offensively strong fragrance of her French perfume, and the sound of her high heels always preceded, and announced her arrival. Jiang would smile in lustful delight. The Chinese Communist Party organizations were allowed an hour for a nap after lunch. At the nap hour every day, Huang would sneak into Minister Jiang's office. Once, the Chinese central government delivered an urgent document to Jiang. The messenger knew what was going on inside Minister Jiang's office, so he dared not ruin his pleasure. He had no choice but to wait anxiously for over an hour outside the door. Huang finally came out of the office, and her clothes were in disarray. Before Jiang left the ministry in Beijing, and became the mayor of Shanghai, he made Huang the vice chairman of the administrative office, of the Electronic Industry Ministry. Shortly after Jiang arrived in Shanghai, a governmental telephone line to Shanghai was installed in Huang's home. However, the phone calls to Shanghai lasted too long, and the telephone bills were alarmingly high. Eventually, the finance department at the Electronic Industry Ministry had to review the details of her phone bills. The affair between Huang and Jiang could no longer be hidden from her husband. And Huang's husband decided to settle the divorce in court. Jiang reportedly hurried back to Beijing, and negotiated with Huang's husband. The two allegedly came to terms that Huang's husband would move to Shenzhen and work for an electronics company, while Huang remained in Beijing alone, for Jiang's pleasure when he went Beijing to report to the central government. After the Tiananmen massacre in 1989, Jiang transferred Huang to Shenzhen. At first, the party leader in Shenzhen underestimated her influence. They put her in a position with no real power. Huang complained about it to Jiang, asking him to seek revenge for her. Unfortunately, Jiang had not yet secured his power at that time. Besides, Huang's boss was Ren Kailai, the eldest son of Ren Thongyi, a senior leader of the CCP. Jiang couldn't run the risk. So he had no choice but to ask Huang to temporarily put up with it. In 1993, Deng Xiaoping held an inspection tour in Shenzhen. Jiang was forced to support the reform, and followed Deng's footsteps to Shenzhen. As soon as the leaders of Shenzhen City Committee were prepared to make a presentation, Jiang asked in a seemingly nonchalant manner without even looking up, "By the way, is Comrade Huang here?" The question shook the secretary of Shenzhen Li Yuwei. This was a hint that he must not underestimate that woman. Li Yuwei was very familiar with the political atmosphere, so he immediately sent a car to pick Huang up. Next, the Shenzhen City Committee went through a reorganization. Huang became Secretary General, and a permanent member of the Shenzhen City Committee. Later, she became Deputy Secretary of the Shenzhen City Committee, and had an encrypted phone line at home that was connected directly to Zhongnanhai. Since Shenzhen City was built, no political leader there had ever had an encrypted phone line to Zhongnanhai. Because of her political status, Huang became very wealthy. During those years there was a lot of traffic to her home. Some people begged her for a position in the government, some people begged her to cover up their crimes. A lot of major financial criminals were acquitted, after they bribed Huang with a large bundle of money. To keep Huang's husband from exploding, Jiang ordered the local government to give green light to all his business deals. Huang Liman doesn't have any talent, morality, political accomplishment, or support from the people. She's only good in Jiang's bedroom. She then was promoted to the Deputy Secretary of Guangdong Province. As soon as Jiang had the power to do so, he arranged for her to become a candidate for the CCP's 16th Central Committee, the third candidate from the bottom. Once Huang began calling the shots in Shenzhen, all her sisters also prospered. Her first younger sister, Huang Lorong, became chairman of the labor union of a large corporation in Shenzhen. The CEO of the corporation pledged his loyalty to Huang and Huang Lorong every day. In 1997, when the company began to trade its stock in the stock market, the CEO gave them 50,000 shares of the IPO for free. Her second younger sister Huang Lijie was the department head of a bank. Her husband's private company was never short of cash. Just the profits for issuing loans would be enough to provide for several generations in the Huang's family. Huang Liman lived in luxury. She received 300,000 yuan in monthly benefits. The amount of her savings remained at the watermark of 50 billion yuan. She also kept luxurious mansions in Shenzhen, Guangzhou, Beijing and Shanghai whose market value totaled 14 to 15 million yuan. Her mansion in Beijing, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen were paid for with housing benefits, in another word, they were gifts from the Chinese government. Huang had also been exposed for renting 16 luxury suites in Qilin Mansion and the Wuzhou Hotel, for a long period in the name of Shenzhen City Committee, for high-level cadre at the provincial level to use for vacation and holidays. The hotel expenses totaled 20 million yuan a year. While Huang was reigning over Shenzhen City, the number of robberies rose to 600 per day on average. Shenzhen became a paradise for criminals. After Jiang stepped down, Huang soon lost her power, and was transferred to Guangdong province where she became the chairman of People's Congress, a position with no real power. However, to repair the severe damage she had done to Shenzhen, would take a long time.